Morning, guys. Morning, Yasin, Layan, Hassan Gouda, Mariam.
Good morning.
Morning, Yasin. Morning, Ruhayim. Ruhayim, can you hear me? Abu Ali.
Mister, did you call my
Excuse me?
Did you call my name?
I have Hassan, Ruhayim, Layan, Jannah Gouda, okay? Mariam Naqib, Yasin, Hassan Gouda. And I have Abdurrahman Walid now, Tadrus, Abdurrahman Walid. Jana Walid. Jana Walid, is it Jana Walid al-Garaihi or Jana Osman?
الجرايحي يا مستر.
Garaihi? Okay.
هعمل رينيم ثانية.
Okay. Yasmin Said. Sorry, yesterday I told you that today there is a writing quiz. I didn't see the updated quiz plan. It's next Tuesday. Okay. The writing quiz is according to the updated quiz plan. It's next Tuesday. Do you all know that? Guys, do you follow the quiz plan or not?
Yes.
Where are the others? Guys, can you hear me?
Mister, can you say again? I didn't hear.
You can't hear? Right. I said yesterday, I told you that there is a quiz, a writing quiz. Okay? But it's
Yes.
Tuesday because the quiz plan is updated and the quiz was transposed to next Tuesday. Do you know that? Do you follow up the quiz plan?
I saw the quiz plan, but I can't really understand it. It's not clear.
Again, according to the old one, to the olden quiz.
Yes, I heard you, but I mean I can't understand the quiz plan. It's not, and I can't read it.
Okay, there is a quiz plan. You know, from today we know that next week on Tuesday we have a science quiz and a grammar quiz, for example. There is a plan for this and it's posted for students. You don't know about it. This is Layan or who was speaking?
I'm Mariam.
Okay, there is a plan, Layan, for the quizzes. And you know that on January 19th, for example, you will have a quiz in math, or it's planned now. In term 2, there is a plan for quizzes. According to the old one, there was a quiz, a writing quiz in English today, but according to the updated one, it's next Tuesday. Sorry, because yesterday I told you that today we're going to have a writing quiz. It's next Tuesday, okay? Right. I'll start the session. We have about 12 students so far. Now I have, I'll say the names again. Baghdadi wants to enter. So I have Jana Gouda, Hala Sharif, Hassan Gouda, Hassan Ruhayim, Jana Walid al-Garaihi, Layan Matar, Mariam Naqib, Tadrus Isa, Yasin Said, Yasmin Said, Yusuf Awad, and Abdurrahman Walid. Okay, I'll start now. We're going to do chapter 5. I asked you yesterday to have a look at it. Did anyone have a look at chapter 5? Short story. Be honest. Did anyone see it? Have a look at it? No? No problem. Okay. Short story. What is a short story? Because guys, next Tuesday, inshallah, you're going to write a short story. This is your writing quiz. I'll give you a topic on that day, and you'll have about 30 to 40 minutes to write the short story. But you need to understand how to write or what the steps are to write a short story. This is chapter 5 in your writing and grammar book. Chapter 5. Haya Masri joined. Haya. Chapter 5 in your grammar and writing book, writing and grammar book. What is a short story? As the name suggests, follow up, guys, and don't leave, please. I'll call your names from time to time, and you need to participate. You know, there are 10 marks for participation. A short story is a brief fictional narrative. Again, what is a short story? It's a brief, a short, brief means short, as you know, brief fictional narrative. The American writer Edgar Allan Poe, you studied something for Edgar Allan Poe, I think it's related to ravens or crows or something in grade 7 or 8, I don't remember, celebrated the unique qualities of short stories and helped to define the genre. So it's fiction, fictional narrative, this is the genre. He felt that a short story should be brief enough to be read in one sitting. Yani a short story should be read in 1 or 2 hours. Usama Darwish. Usama. Okay. So again, a short story is a brief fictional narrative. Do we need to know this definition? Yes. The American writer Edgar Allan Poe, as we said, celebrated and said it should be read in one sitting. An effective short story does what? Establishes the setting in time and place. The time and place should be mentioned. You know, the setting is the time and place of any work of art, a story, of a movie, of a play. The setting, again, is the time and place. Should be mentioned, should be stated clearly. A short story presents a main character, should have a main character who takes part in the action as the problem is resolved. A short story introduces and develops a conflict, a problem to be resolved. Okay, so there is a conflict or a problem which needs to be resolved. A short story weaves a plot. There is a plot, the order or the series of events which takes place before which. The series of events, this is the definition of a plot, that make up the action of the story. A short story suggests a theme. There is a lesson to learn from the short story or generalization about life. To see the criteria against which your short story may be judged, review this. Will read this in page 87. Types of short stories. Are short stories one type? No, there are as many types as there are writers. Okay, there are many types of short stories as there are writers and times, and we can have a large number of short or of types of short stories. But here we have 3 or 4 types only. Number 1, historical narratives. They illuminate some historic event. They focus on a historic event or moment in time using fictionalized elements such as dialogue. The first type of short stories is historical. Okay, and the second type is mysteries, and they present a riddle to be solved. These suspenseful pieces often feature a detective who puts clues together to solve a crime. We have also a short story can be a thriller, and they arouse a high level of tension by introducing danger in the conflict they present. Fourth type is science fiction stories. We talk about short stories, guys. Science fiction stories are usually based in futuristic settings. Talk about something in the future, but addresses issues of value to today's society, something that interests today's readers. Again, we mentioned 4 types only of short stories. As we said, there are many types, but here we talk about 4 types. Again, historical narratives, they focus on an important moment in history and discuss it or fictionalize it. Mysteries, a problem to be solved. Thriller, tension, and science fiction, something that talks about the future, but in a way that interests the present day reader. Here we have a model from literature. We're going to see a short story from literature. The action of crossing Spider Creek. This is the title of a short story, a famous short story. Spans only minutes. The action of this story is a couple of minutes. The action takes place in a couple of minutes. In his short story, Dan O'Brien uses a strategy called flashback to share information about earlier events that have led to the conflict. Flashback is when you talk about something or memories, something that belongs to the past, but in a way or another, it affects the present moment, as Dan O'Brien does in Crossing Spider Creek. Reading strategy, identify chronological order, look for transitional words the writer uses. Again, guys, we're going to read a short story from literature written by Dan O'Brien and see how he develops his plot and his theme and so on, or chronological order. I want someone to read the first paragraph. Who is ready? Maximize it. I want someone to help me read the first paragraph. If you're ready to read the first paragraph, please put your hand up. I have Tadros. Okay, Tadros, thank you. Go ahead.
Here is a seriously injured man on a frightened horse. They are high in the Rocky Mountains at the junction of the Roosevelt Trail and Spider Creek. Tom has tried to coax the horse into the freezing water twice before. Both times the horse started to cross, then lost its nerve, swung around violently, and lunged back up the bank. The pivot and surge of power had been nearly too much for Tom. Both times he almost lost his grip on the saddle horn and fell into the boulders of the creek bank. Both times when it seemed his hold would fail, he thought of his wife, Carol. He will try the crossing once more. It will take all the strength he has left.
Thank you, Tadros. So this is the first paragraph of the short story, Crossing Spider Creek. A horseman, a man on a horse trying to cross the river, and he falls on the boulders or the rocks on the bank of the river and gets hurt. Okay, paragraph 2, or to the end of the page. Who can read? Who can read? Participate, guys. Hassan Ruhayin, go ahead.
This is not the Old West. It is 1987, autumn, a nice day near the beginning of elk season. 2 days ago, Tom had led the horse, his camp packed in panniers hung over the saddle up the same trail. He had some trouble getting the horse to cross the creek, but it hadn't been bad. This was a colt, Carol's colt, and well broke to lead. It had come across without much fuss. But that was before the nice weather had swelled Spider Creek with runoff, and of course the colt had not had the smell of blood in his nostrils.
Thank you, Hassan. So the man remembers his wife. This is elk season. Elk season, you know, elk is a type of deer. And this man looks like this man is a hunter and he wants to cross on his horse the creek, the canal, or the river. Spider Creek, Spider River. But the horse is afraid. The horse hesitates. and the man falls off the horse again and again, and he gets injured. Okay, he remembers his wife who tells him not to be alone. He remembers his wife. What if I die here on my own? Okay. Thank you, Hassan. He's bleeding now. Third paragraph. Who can read it? Third paragraph. I have Abdurrahman Bughdadi. Okay, Bughdadi. So I have Tadrus, Ruhaim, and Bughdadi, the active people with me so far. Go ahead, Bughdadi.
Okay, Mr.
The injury.
Tom's injury is a compound fracture of the right femur. He has wrapped it tightly with an extra cotton shirt, but he cannot stop the bleeding. The blood covers the right shoulder of the horse, the rifle scabbard, and the saddle from the seat to the stirrup. Tom knows that is the loss of blood that is making him so weak. He wonders if that is why his thoughts keep on wandering from what he is trying to do here with the horse to carry. She has never understood his desire to be alone. From time to time over the years, she has complained that he cares less for her than for solitude.
And he prefers, sorry Hassan, sorry Abdurrahman, he prefers to be alone, to enjoy his solitude than enjoy being with her. She advises him to be in a group or with a company all the time, but he prefers to be on his own with his horse. She is afraid that he would die or something. And in a situation like this, he's bleeding hard now and he's about to die, and there is nobody around to help him. He has his horse only in this empty place. Okay, go on, Abdurrahman.
He has always known that is not true, but it still seems vaguely funny to him that now she is all he wants to think about. He wishes she could know that. He hopes he will have a chance to tell her.
Thank you, Abdurrahman.
Perhaps it's
okay. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Another guy. Someone else. I still have, okay, Jana Walid. Jana, let me write your name. Jana. Thank you, Jana. Okay. Start. Perhaps.
Mr. From where? Perhaps it is beginning on this particular horse. He thinks the one Carol likes better than any of the others. Maybe Carol has spent enough time with this horse to have become part of it. The horse moves nervously under him as he winds it around to face the water again. Tom wishes there were a way to ease the animal through this, but there is not, and there is clearly little time. There is just this one last chance.
Okay. Go on.
They began to move slowly down the bank again. It will be all or nothing. If the horse makes it across Spider Creek, they will simply ride down the trail, be at a campground in 20 minutes. There are other hunters there. They will get him to a hospital if the horse refuses and spin in fear. Tom will fall. The horse will clamber up the bank and stand aloof, quacking with terror and forever out of reach. Tom sees himself bleeding to death alone by the cascading icy water.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you, Jana. So, if the horse is courageous enough, brave enough to cross this creek or this canal this time, Tom will be able to join other hunters 20 minutes far from this place, and they will take him to hospital. But if the horse gets confused again and refuses to cross this creek or this water body, Tom will die because he's bleeding, okay? And the horse will stand aloof, alone, without any help. He doesn't know how to go back home, and he will get lost forever. So Tom will die if the horse refuses to cross the river. This is the last chance. And the horse will be lost, okay? And the man is bleeding hard. Another person, we still have about 2 paragraphs or 3. Another person. Bodari, put your hand down, please. I need new faces, guys. New faces. Hala Sharif, are you there? Guys,
yes.
there are 10 marks for participation, guys. those who enter by name or account only and don't show up, please try to participate and be more active, because I write down the names of those who participate in the session, who answer and speak with me. Okay, Hala? Okay. As the horse stretches.
Yes, Master.
Okay, read this part, please.
As the horse stretches out its nose to sniff at the water, Tom thinks that there might be time. If he falls to grab at the rifle and drag it from the scabbard, as he goes down, he clucks to the horse and it moves forward. Though he would hate to, it might be possible to shoot the horse from where he would fall. With luck, he would have the strength to crawl to it and hold its warm head for a few moments before they died. It would be the best for Carol if they were found like that. A seriously injured man on a frightened horse. They are standing at the edge of Spider Creek. The horse is trembling, front feet in the water, and man's spurs held an inch from the horse's flanks.
Okay, so this is the end of the story. Thank you, Hala. I write your name. Okay. So the man decides that if the horse keeps embezzling or confused, if the horse stays confused, the man will fall because he's bleeding to death. He will fall of the horse. Sorry, he will get the rifle and shoot the horse before he died himself, because he preferred that his wife would come and find him hugging or holding the horse's head and both of them dead than losing the horse. Okay, so but we don't know. The writer stops here and he doesn't tell us the end of the story. As you can see, the time span of this story is just 5 seconds or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but most of it is flashback to what happened before, his wife's opinion about him, the place where they used to go hunting for elk, it's the elk season, and so on. So a short story can be written like this. It can take a time span of just a couple of hours, a couple of minutes, like the story we have here, a couple of days, and it's not short. Muhammad Adil Tawakkul. Miss you, Muhammad. Why didn't you join us yesterday and the day before? Huh?
معلش رحت على الأمة.
You were absent. في attendance محمد في درجات على attendance. So please attend the sessions. Thank you. طيب. As you can see, O'Brien expands one moment into a story. على إنجليزي. Okay, welcome on. O'Brien expands one moment into a story by using flashback to describe the events that led up to it. So we have just one moment. A short story describes a moment. One moment or one situation. You choose a situation or a moment and you comment in it. You fictionalize it. He keeps the order of plot events clear by using phrases like 2 days ago. These are transitional words, which are very important when you write a short story. And but that was before, but that was after. Such words show us the chronological order, the time order of the events. Make your story clear. When you write a short story, make it clear by including transitions like these. But that was after, or that was when such and such happened, last week, 2 days ago, last year, and so on. Like these that identify the order of the events. First, second, after that, then. All these are transitional words which are very important when you write a short story. Pre-writing, you know the steps of writing anything. You have pre-writing, thinking over your ideas or thinking up some ideas, choosing your topic. You want to write a short story, the first step is choosing your topic. You can build a story around one strong element. Start with a compelling conflict, an interesting character, or an unusual setting. Use these strategies to help you choose a topic. We have some strategies here. Blueprint. Blueprint is like drafting. Sketch out the setting of a place. This might be a familiar neighborhood, a football stadium, or a completely fictional world, something you thought up or made up. As you draw, consider events that might unfold in the setting you have created. I'd like to remind you of the meaning of the setting again. The setting is the time and place of something. List 3 or 4 ideas and then choose one you'd like to develop. Song list. Music often sparks memories of people or places. To recall or to remember a memory you would like to use as the basis of a short story. List several songs you enjoy. This is another idea to write a short story. Remember some songs you cherish, you love. Jot down the ideas the songs bring in mind. A song by Amr Diab, for example, you used to listen to when you were in grade 8. And jot down, write down the ideas the song brings to your mind. Then review your list and choose a springboard, a starting point for your own writing. Character sound off. To generate characters for your story, consider or think of the people you have encountered recently, the people you have met recently. Make a list of these people and include a description of each one. Circle the ones who might create an interesting pair. Then write the dialogue they might have together. Use this dialogue to generate an idea for your story. This, if you want to have an idea for your story, guys. Here is an example. Creating a character sound off. Ben prepared to write. Ben is a student like you, to write by making a character list. He circled people he'd like to use in a story. This is the list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. The characters he focused on are the confused patient and the busy doctor. And he created a dialogue between them. It showed these two people. The patient says, "What happened to me?" The doctor answers, "You've had an accident." Okay? And so on. You can elaborate on this situation and write your story. Topic bank. If you are thinking of a topic, some of you are interested in writing short stories. If you're having difficulty coming up with a topic, consider these possibilities. What if story? Choose a recent challenge you have faced and rewrite it with a different outcome. For example, a difficult exam you did or you were taking and you, for example, failed it. Consider or rewrite it with a different outcome. Imagine that you have passed it with 90%. You could write a story summarizing what might have happened if you had lost a key game, for example, or had taken a risk you've been afraid to confront, like the hard exam or the difficult exam. And elaborate on this and write your story. Story about a conflict between friends. You can imagine that two friends fall apart and they are about to call it quits, or they are going to save their friendship. Write it the way you like. Responding to fine art. You can have a work of art like this. This looks like those women or those people are at the beach, and the painting beach scene, CA, 1935, at right here, might inspire you to imagine an enjoyable day at the beach and write a story. A couple were at the beach and they had their kids and the kids got lost, and they found out that one of them has drowned, and any story you could think of. Perhaps it's just a survival story beginning on an ordinary day at the shore. Use one of these suggestions to write a story about a day at the beach. And you can get your idea from a work of art like this. Responding to literature, read. He advises you to read The Notorious Jumping Frog of Calaveras County by Mark Twain. Mark Twain is a famous American writer, you know. Using the story's exaggerated style as a model, write your own humorous tale or story. You can find the story in Prentice Hall. Skip this point. Timed writing prompt. When a friend sticks by someone during a tough time, people often say, that's what friends are for. If you have a friend who stands by your side in time of need, we say, that's what friends are for. A friend indeed is a friend in need. Write a short story about a person who goes the extra mile for a friend, who sacrifices something for a friend. The story should express your vision of what friends are for. And you're given 30 minutes. So, inshallah, in the writing quiz next week, next Tuesday, you're going to be asked a question like this. You'll be given a situation like this or an idea like this, and 30 minutes or 40 minutes to write your short story yourself, following the steps we will mention later. Narrowing your topic, we have something called CASPER, an acronym called CASPER. You should consider your characters. To avoid writing a story that goes in all directions, يعني عشان ما بقاش الموضوع زي ما بنقول كده بالعربي مبهوأ منك. Narrow your focus by identifying the major elements. We are still in the planning stage. We are still planning. We haven't started writing yet of your story. Use the letters in the acronym CASPER to organize these key items. Following is an example based on Eudora, Welty, Welty's story, Worn Path. Characters, we have a character called Phoenix in this short story written by Eudora Welty. Jackson, Phoenix Jackson, and people she encounters. These are the characters in this short story. I'd like to remind you again and again, a short story expresses a situation, one situation, a short span of time. It's not a novel. It's not a novel. Okay? Letter A is adjectives. List some of the adjectives you want to use to describe the characters. Old, maybe this woman is old. Fragile, weak. Determined, doesn't lose hope, doesn't give up easily. And weak in body. Okay? Setting, as we said, setting means time and place. Rural, south, it's in a rural area. Bumpy forest path, the path is bumpy, full of ups and downs. Small town. Problem, there is a problem to be solved. Phoenix, this old woman, needs to travel into town to get medicine for her grandson. Her grandson is ill, and she needs to travel into town to get medicine for him. The action, she hikes, she walks, she struggles, she survives something, she fights against something or someone, and the resolution, Phoenix gets to town and gets medicine. She succeeds to get medicine at the end for her grandson. Considering your audience and purpose. If you want to be a successful writer, you should think of the people you're writing for, your fans, your readers. Before you begin your draft, identify your audience. Are you going to write to 5-year-olds or adults or teenagers and so on? The people you expect to read your short story, these are your audience. Knowing the age of your intended audience will help you choose the vocabulary and sentence complexity that is appropriate for your readers. And if you write for example, 10 years olds, it would be simple sentences, short sentences. If you're going to write for adults, complex, compound complex, or complex compound sentences. In addition, consider your purpose in writing your story. You may want to amuse your readers. You'll get some funny situations, to frighten them, the exaggerated situations, or to create a character who will confide in them. This chart shows the kinds of details you might use to achieve a specific purpose. If you look at the chart, if your purpose is to frighten, so talk about gloomy setting, description of silences. To amuse, if you want to amuse the readers, exaggerated characters, funny situations. If you want to inspire reflection, unexpected event, thoughtful narrator, and so on. I'll end the session here. I'll join you again in 5 minutes, just to give you a break. And the video is about, we're recording our sessions, is about to end. Okay? See you in 5 minutes, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.